Why?
It was at this moment Jackson knew. He fucked up.
Okay, let's nail the 10-minute review. 64 audio, U8s, 8 balanced armatures. 4 of them are sub or bass, 2 of them are mids, and 2 of them are highs. Thing worth noting, I use rock and roll to adjust my EQ, and very interestingly, the lowest slider, instead of being around 30, is down at 18 is the frequency, I believe. Yeah, 18. I had to do that to get this to give impactful bass. BAs are a different animal, and I'm kind of enjoying discovering them. The myth about these don't do impact like dynamics is kind of dying. These slam pretty good. The vibration that you get from sub bass, which will be the lower hertz, around 30, that is lacking because that is the effect of a dynamic driver. But the punch and the feeling of bass, everything minus that 1 point, is completely on par. This is $1,000. I paid for this. You're starting to see a theme. I paid for this. I paid for that. I got a discount on these because I'm doing a review, but I still paid $1,000. And if you think I'd say anything other than what I think, then you're on crack and you don't know me. Worth noting, if you guys want to see a review of what these things look close up, then wait a little while, because some people are going to take little pictures in light boxes and just give you all the pictures you'd ever want for the rest of your life. You see every little point, close up, zoom shots, the whole thing. And I don't do that. About sound, these are playing rock and roll awesome. Dark Side of the Moon, On the Run, and then the next track is Time, just awesome. You got to get a good seal on these, because dynamic drivers, if you don't have a good seal, you're going to lose sub bass. We all know that. If there's a little opening, it might sound a little wider because you're getting air in like you would an open back, but nobody wants that, because that wouldn't be the sound sig that you bought when you get the IEM. So again, having a good seal is automatic. Having a good seal on a set of BAs is critical. It's totally different. I've been A-Bing back and forth for 2 days, and it's audibly very, very different. If you do not have a good seal on a set of BAs, you are in big trouble, and whatever your evaluation is not accurate. I wouldn't trust it if you didn't have a good seal. And I don't think that 64 audio gives you the tips that you need. Whatever. So I got different tips, and I switched the cable because I'm keeping them. These were EQ'd based on rock, because a 4-string stand-up guitarist pulling on all 4 chords, and me hearing that required me to start playing with 125, and I never do that. I usually leave that flat, and then I start cutting 250, 500. I elevated that slightly because that gave me what I needed to hear the 4 strings of a bassist clearly. I had to do the really early at 18, and then I had to do 125 little boost, and I never do that. So that's the difference between BAs and dynamics. Do I rec that you buy this? So do you want me to talk about the sound signature? Okay, here's the sound signature. If you don't use an EQ, you're going to have a slightly elevated bass, mids that are not forward and they're not recessed, highs that might to some people sound like they're slightly smoothed off or rolled off. They're definitely not peaky or trebly. My EQ is to push up the bass because I like the bassist to feel like he's right up close to me, and because I do that, I have to raise up the highs a little bit. In stock form, these sound fine. They're detail monsters. Clarity implies a lot of good stuff in the highs. When you've got 4 lows and 2 mids and 2 highs, you're going to have a bass dominant sound sig, and everybody knows that who buys the U8s. Are you sacrificing clarity? No. Would you be wise to EQ? I've not seen a set of IEMs that you wouldn't be wise to EQ, because your ear canal and your you as an individual person have got personal tastes, and if you don't play around with an EQ, you might not even know the part of the spectrum where you might not be catching stuff, especially if you prefer a certain genre. Using an EQ is critical. When people say, "Oh, I don't use an EQ," oh hey, look, there's my back, because that's what you're looking at now, because I don't even deal with people like that, because that's moronic. You don't use an EQ, really? Number one, because you're lazy, or number two, because you think that the people that created the item know more than you do. No, they don't. They have an image of what they want to put out, and that's what they put out. That's their image, and you think they were thinking of you when they did that? That's a bit much. So, if you're not, if you don't touch EQs, you can zip out of this review right now. But do me a favor. Hey, stop for a second, bro. Hey, have you been lifting weights? You look real good. Do me a favor and hit the thumb up button while you're walking out the door, right? Thank you. Yeah, bye-bye. Okay. Now, for the rest of you guys that are still sitting here, like I said, paid $1,000 for these. I got a 15% discount. I sent a mail to the guy named Alex that runs this company, and I was pissed because of stuff that's none of your business. And he kind of blew it off. And then I sent another mail, and he broke it down to me point by point in a very polite, mature, business owner kind of way. And at the end of the day, I can tell you clear that 1964 Audio is a good company, and if you have an issue with them, they're going to take care of it. How big is that? It's effing huge, bro. FIO, Lend Me Your Ears, and 1964 Audio, or 64 Audio, the only three companies that I can tell you without a doubt will take care of you if you have an issue. Everybody else is case by case. Our Sonics, I've been beating them forever, and because I couldn't get a tip, and I still haven't, and they never even responded to my mails. These guys not only responded to my mails, but the mail I sent them was, I think the first sentence in the, this is a true story, man. I think the first sentence was, get ready and please put your big boy pants on because I'm about to drop some adult language or something like that. I was just like, I can't imagine being the person reading that mail, because they must have said, holy shit, get this dude out of our life. But they put up with it, and they sent me my stuff, and I'm still paying $1,000, man. So, it's not like I've gotten anything for free or special consideration. They're a company, and they're supposed to take care of the customer, and they did that. And here I am doing the review now, and the part where I talk about the company is glowy shiny, because they didn't do anything special for me. They did their job. You getting it? They did their job. Okay, let's get to the meat and potatoes of this whole thing, and I'll stop my jabbering and stuff. It's a Well-Made Iem. I'd recommend that you tip roll. Its size is slightly smaller than a ASG 2.5. Pictures make it look a lot bigger than that. It's actually not that big. Something that is worth noting that I gotta show you guys, because this is really a big thing for me. Let me take this tip off. That nozzle is like a well-hung porn star. That is good stuff right there. This is going to ensure that it gets deep in your ear, and whatever the sound that you tuned, you're going to get it. This is the problem that I've had with a lot of IEMs, is this thing was not big enough, and it is big enough. It is quite large. I don't know what to tell you beyond that. It's 2-pin, throw on your custom. It's got a nice long nozzle, so if your ear is big or small, it really shouldn't matter. The company did their job. Sound sig is nicely tuned, slightly elevated bass with rolled off mids, slightly. Like I said before, this is, people who EQ are going to read this, and what they ought to take out of it is it's an unusual adjustment where you've got to do the bass lower than you would imagine, like I gotta say 18, and then go from there. But to get a good bass out of these that's competitive with dynamic drivers, you're gonna have to put that first slider down around 18 for a stand-up bass. Like I said, I adjust my bass based on rock and roll, and it carries over to hip-hop really nicely. Again, do I recommend these? I don't know how much money you got. I don't know where you're coming from. Do these have good bass? They do. Are they worth $1,000? I'm not sending them back. I got no complaints. I have had complaints before, and I have had that, like, oh shit, what have I done moment, like sitting in a chair. This is not one of them. I'm quite pleased with this. It's going to go on my list. I'm going to directly compete these with the 2.5s and the EX800s in about a week. I'll do a video about that. Otherwise, these are very, very nice, and I'm very pleased with my purchase. And the company's got thick skin, and they put up with a bunch of my bullshit. Not bullshit, just a tough customer. And they weathered the storm, and I'm quite pleased. So I recommend the company as well as the product. I'm going to give these 5 stars because there's really nothing wrong with them. Outside of the fact that I think that the selection of tips is not quite what it should be, but you know, there's $50 IEMs that have like 20 tips and they sound like crap. Would I rather pay $1,000 and have, you know, you want to pay $1,000 and have a few tips and the thing sounds awesome, or do you want to pay $50 and have 20 tips and it doesn't matter what tip you put on it, sounds, you know, like crap? I'll stick with right here. This is cool. This is the 1964 ADEL. I don't know if that's part of the name actually. 1964 audio. U8s, and I'm pleased. I am a bass head. I love rock and roll music. I love clarity. I love detail. I love Dark Side of the Moon, and I love these IEM. Bingo. That's it.